If you're stuck in life, if you're stuck in this place where nothing seems to be working, you're hitting wall after wall after wall, I'm here to tell you that one of the reasons for that is simply because you have defined yourself by a label. We all have labels. We all use labels. We categorize each other. We categorize things in our life all the time. We label things all the time. But the problem with labels is that at some point, we start defining ourselves by the labels that we've given to ourselves, or we define ourselves by the labels that others have given to us. Even worse, because a lot of times those labels have nothing to do with who we are and why we're here. The core piece that we need to understand is labels are fine, they're awesome when they're actually aligned to why we're here. If you give yourself a label or someone else gives you a label and that actually aligns to why you're here, that's going to be a blessing to you, and it's going to be a blessing to others, because labels don't define us, but they do explain something about us. Okay, labels don't define us. That's the lie. But they do explain something about us, something that's true, or it could be false. We could falsely be wearing a label that actually is getting in our way. It's hindering us from being able to fulfill our purpose in the lives of those that we serve every single day. So I want to break this down a bit for us today and dig into it so that I can give you some tools to help you understand which labels are helping me, which labels are not, and do I even need labels to be able to actually fulfill my purpose? All right, so first things first. Your purpose, you've heard me say this before, your purpose is a why, not a what. Your purpose is why you're here, not what you do. Okay? Your purpose is why you're here, not what you do. What you do has to align with why you're here, or you're definitely going to be devalued, 100%. So once you understand why you're here, and if you want some help on that, by the way, just check out servant.tools. We're here to help. Make sure that you get that clarity on why you're here. Once you understand why you're here, then you're able to look at everything that you're doing to go, is this actually helping me fulfill my purpose or not? And if it's not, you let it go. If it is, you strengthen that, you get better at that, and you build that out. Same thing with who you are. Typically labels, we use labels to define us. We use labels to articulate something about us to help somebody else understand who we really are. But the problem in that is that's not who we are. It's just something that we do, or it's something that we love, or something that, describes us. So as an example, I got blonde, grayish hair. That's a label. I'm a blonde, gray-haired man with a beard. Those are labels. I used to be an actor. An actor, that's a label. That doesn't explain, or that doesn't define who I am. If you watch some of the other videos, if you heard some of my testimony, you know that I realized as I was going through my career that this was actually getting in my way. And as God got a hold of me and started to shift my life and put me in this position where I was rightfully supposed to stand, which is to help you realize your purpose and us as a company to transform you to fulfill that purpose so that you can serve everywhere that you're being called to serve. As He placed me there, all of this stuff, that all these labels that I used to have that really mattered to me, that I defended, they didn't matter anymore. That was a transition. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't easy, but it was that simple. It was just simply just letting go of that and embracing what was true about me. But I had no idea who I was. And same thing with everyone that we've worked with. They really have no idea who they are until they understand why they're here. Then they're able to assess. Then I was able to assess, who am I really? And it was all in relation to, I have to be this particular person in order to be able to help you realize your purpose. And every time I'm not that person, I don't have the same results. I can't help to the same degree because I'm actually lying to myself, trying to be something that I'm not. It's the exact same as you. We all know this stuff, right? We all know this, and it just takes us to be honest with ourselves to go, you know what? This isn't really who I am. And how do I know that? Because I actually didn't help answer that need that I'm here to answer in that person's life by fulfilling my purpose in their life. I didn't actually do that with them. Now, there's multiple reasons why that's possible. Maybe they didn't want your help. Maybe the help in the way that you were offering it wasn't what they actually wanted or needed at the time. All those things can be assessed once you understand why you're here. But the key thing is that all labels are used to explain something about us on the good and bad side. Bad, good and bad, meaning, the things that we have taken upon ourselves, or, people call us stupid or dumb, or, whatever those stupid labels are, labeling a label right there, that, people throw at us to try to diminish us, to try to take position over us, when it's not about that at all. I mean, I may be crazy and naive, but I have this amazing dream where everyone is actually valued for their contribution. Everyone is standing in their position, fulfilling their purpose. No one's above anybody else. We're all just doing what we're supposed to be doing with those whom we're supposed to be doing it with, in the ways and at the time that we're supposed to do it. There's no competition in that. There's just camaraderie. There's just, hey, Shane can help. Hey, you can help. Let me bring them over and help you get this need answered in your life. To me, that's how, the body of God, the body of Christ, that's how that works. That's how I see it work time and time again, is each of us knows our piece and knows our part. We just come together as we need to come together to fulfill our purpose with the people that are standing in front of us, serving them with what we have been given to serve them with. Be it physical things or knowledge or wisdom or methods that we use, ways that we go about doing things. All of those things are unique to us. And all of those things help explain something about us, but they don't define us. Labels, again, explain something about us. Our purpose defines us. So I want you to take a look at the labels that you have, from your hair color to your body type to, the things that you love to do to, the way people describe you. If they were to say, hey, how would you describe you? How would they describe you? Most of the time, they're going to describe you with labels. Whatever those things are, those are labels. They explain something about you. And I want you to take a look at those things. Once you do that, then you're going to be able to look at those labels and go, which ones actually help me? Which ones are getting in my way? Which ones have I put way too much weight on? And I'm actually creating a whole life on. A whole lifestyle, making life decisions based on labels. That's a dangerous place to be. You want to make life decisions based on why you're here, because that's going to lead you in the right way. That's going to cause you to be in the right places with the right people, doing the right things at the right time, because you're going to be living into your opportunities and not getting distracted by things that your labels are going to lead you astray in. Again, as I showed before, I built a whole lifestyle, a whole life around being an actor. I wasted years of my life doing that, even though I had success at it. But as I look back, if I would have taken that same time and went, you know what, I'm going to focus my time on helping others realize their purpose, I would have done none of that. And still gained all the skills, all the things that I know how to do. I would have done it in the right way. And I wouldn't have had to waste that time to unlearn the bad habits that I had based on the labels that I had, one being an actor, and really learned how to serve into somebody else's life, not just give a great performance. That took me some time to figure out. And I don't want you to have to go through that. I want you to be able to understand why you're here so that you can skip that pain of having to tear stuff out of your life that you've built in, that you're now dependent upon because you actually have bills to pay, you have a family to provide for, all of this stuff. You have a reputation, all of those things that come with building a life based on labels, that if you actually know why you're here, then you're able to live into the life that's been built for you. You can be who you've been created to be, where you're meant to be, doing what you're meant to do with everyone that you're supposed to be serving. That is a completely different life. That is a life where labels become an asset to you, not a liability. So I just want to encourage you. Be careful of the labels that you give to other people. Be careful of the labels that you give to yourself, because they will shape your life. All right. See you in the next one.